The second selection was an eye-opening lesson for Isagi. He was tested many times in different matches by many different opponents, but this is the moment that changed everything for Isagi. We start during the match Team White versus Team Red, where it is Isagi and Nagi versus Baro and Naruhaya. Nagi is transcending to a completely different beast, and Isagi is noticing his skills improve rapidly. Isagi becomes aware of Nagi's power as he is able to make plays freely without the pressure of a defender. Nagi has two types of traps, a creating trap that blows life into a play, and an absorbing trap that kills the momentum to zero. Nagi scores and he can pretty much do everything in a one-on-one. Isagi thinks to himself as he as well wants to be able to find a method that allows him to win a one-on-one. The second selection provided teamwork and chemical reactions, but it mainly taught how to be able to win in one-on-one situations as a striker. Baro goes for a long distance shot at the kickoff, but the ball is blocked by a blue lock man. Naruhaya then grabs the rebound and passes it to Baro, who then scores. Nagi and Baro are both able to score in one-on-one situations, and Isagi realizes that the key to victory is between him and Naruhaya. Naruhaya then tells Isagi why he wanted to play against him in the first place. It is because he thought he could beat Isagi. He knows all of Isagi's weaknesses and strengths, and knows that he cannot play alone, which is what the second selection thrived off of. He cannot score goals alone like his other teammates and has only been doing well because of his teammates that were always around him up until this point. Naruhaya then tells Isagi that he is mediocre just like him. Baro then charges in and passes the ball to Naruhaya. Baro demands for the ball back, but Naruhaya wants to reach the level of geniuses. Naruhaya goes for the shot but is blocked by Blue Lock Man. Baro then charges up and takes a shot for a goal. Naruhaya and Isagi are one and the same in terms of ability. Naruhaya has an ability that gets himself in front of the goal, but he cannot score once he's there. Isagi on the other hand has a direct shot to score once he's in front of the goal, but he doesn't have a weapon to get him there. This was big insight into both of the characters because they are both mediocre in their own way, and one must copy the skill of the other in order to win the game and move on. They both have the desire to fight on their own and score goals on their own. Up until this point, both of them have not been able to score goals without the help of another teammate. The second selection does not allow those cheap tricks to work like it did in the first selection, with more players on the field. Isagi still lacks a part of him to reach Baro and Nagi. He does not have a weapon that allows him to reach the goal in 1v1 situations. He looks into himself and realizes that if he is not on par with the genius caliber players of Baro and Nagi, he will never be able to become the best striker in the world. He tries to search inside himself and find the power inside himself to win. He does not want to go out as a mediocre person. He then starts to do a 2-on-1 with Nagi and get past Naruhaya. Naruhaya is still able to keep up with Isagi, and the method he used was not good enough. All he can do is rely on Nagi for scoring, so he passes the ball back to Nagi and Nagi scores again on his own. The match has been completely up to Nagi and Baro. It's like the other two are just there standing around. Isagi tried to switch up his tactics and actions to get ahead, but none of it worked. He then decides to change his thinking. He cannot get caught up in how he used to play and must discard the way he was up until now. As he is thinking, Baro goes for a kick and Nagi stops it. Isagi gets the rebound, but Naruhaya is right behind him and steals the ball. Naruhaya gets ready to shoot, but Nagi creeps up to defend him, so then he passes the ball to Baro, who then scores. Isagi then notices how Naruhaya came from his blind spot. Isagi's greatest weapon comes from his eyes, but he has only been looking at where the ball is. He realizes that Naruhaya has been positioning himself in places where Isagi cannot see him. He then accepts to himself that he is the one that is in the wrong. He needed to think of off-the-ball movements as well in one-on-ones. That is why he kept getting beat, because he was so focused on the ball that he didn't realize all of the other things that are going on when the ball is not near you. He then thinks back to Rin and how Rin knew his movements because Isagi did not take notice of his blind spots. He then searches to look for a new piece to the puzzle. He smashes all the information he has gained now and rewrites his own common sense. Now this panel is a lot deeper than we think. Let me summarize what is happening. Ego made Blue Lock in the beginning to where everyone started as a forward. He tells everyone to fix their knowledge of football from scratch because the football that they all once knew does not exist in Blue Lock. Because of this, the ordinary team chemistry and passes will not work. Ego then says to throw out the common sense they once knew and rejected. The most important thing for Japan is not the teamwork between 11 players, but to have a hero among them. Even in the Team Z vs Team X matchup, Isagi decides to pass the ball instead of scoring. He relied on teamwork instead of what a real striker needed, which was to find a way to score. Baro even tells him that a striker who chokes in front of the goal simply doesn't have what it takes to be one. The formation of teamwork has still been subconsciously in Isagi's mind, even up until the second selection. He has not been able to reject his own common sense and throw away that style of football. Ego tells them now that scoring in football means destroying your opponent's structure. So in other words, strikers are destroyers. Isagi's spatial awareness allows him to know where exactly on the field he needs to be, but he did not take in part about the spaces where his eyes could not see. He needed to be able to rewrite his thinking to bluelock's system, a system of new adaptable skills and chemical reactions that no one has ever seen before. He needed to completely rewire his thinking to win. Your thoughts are your actions. In order for Isagi to change the performance he has been giving up until now, he needed to change his thought pattern. The fact he is able to change his whole thought process in the middle of the game is mind-boggling to me. He even tells Nagi to shut up because he is thinking of a way to win. Naruhaya then tries to tell Baro what to do and he does not care and goes for a shot into the goal, but it hits the crossbar and rebounds away. Isagi and Naruhaya are chasing after the ball. Naruhaya gets ready for an opening to shoot and he then tells himself that he needs a direct shot like Isagi to win the game. He goes for the shot but it hits the bar wide left and he is stunned. Isagi notices that Naruhaya tried to copy his direct shot and realizes that them copying each other would help them in getting closer to the levels of geniuses. Isagi then is able to copy Naruhaya's blind spot weapon and get behind Baro running towards the goal. With this new weapon, he is now able to defeat Baro in a one-on-one. He then shoots his direct shot and scores a goal. He's completely devoured Naruhaya's talent and turned it into his own. Naruhaya acknowledges why he lost and the biggest reason was due to the acceptance of change. Isagi was not afraid to change and switch to bluelock's new philosophy, whereas Naruhaya still looked onto that style, but tried to copy Isagi's direct shot, which was created because of bluelock. In the previous games before, Isagi accepts that he cannot be the person he was before if he wants to become the best striker in the world. He needed to move on and accept the new system of bluelock and reject his own common sense. To do this, he was able to create the best version of himself. He is then called a genius in terms of adaptability, and it is the truth. Isagi was able to carry all of the momentum he had from previous games and completely destroy all of them. Strikers are ones to destroy, and he was still thinking of a teammate 11 vs 11 playstyle. If you read the bluelock spin-off, then you know that Isagi's ego was sealed at a young age. I think as the story progresses and Isagi plays through more meaningful and brute battles, he gets closer and closer to his true ego. One of a true striker that destroys any opponent's structure. This is the egoist that ego is looking for. Well, I thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.